Hey, friend, welcome to the final episode of this special series, the Reinvention Series on Wealth Within Reach podcast. I cannot tell you how grateful that I am that you have been walking alongside this journey with me in this Reinvention Series. This has been so good, and I'm really excited for the last episode because I'm going to keep it simple. I want to help you start to look ahead. We've been doing a lot of reflecting, of looking inward, and now I really want to give you just three simple questions to ask yourself as you look forward through this next season of reinvention. All right. And these questions are actually going to come directly from the prompt guide that I created for this series. If you haven't already downloaded, it's in the show notes. You can download it. It's a prompt that I created that you can actually plug directly into ChatGPT, answer these questions, and it can really help you to get some language for like where you are in this season, what you may be feeling, and give you some language to help you understand who you're becoming. Okay. So, very excited to close this out with this episode and let's jump into it. So, the first question is about who you are becoming. All right. This is the foundation of all of it. This is the foundation of your identity. This is not about thinking about what should I do? What should I fix? What, these performance behavioral things. I really want you to ask yourself, who am I becoming? Who do I want to become? What does that person look like? How does that person feel? How does that person think? Okay. I do this exercise with my clients all the time, and I call it a reframing exercise. And what I do is I start with just encouraging people to write down whatever the limiting beliefs are. I believe I have a hard time believing this, or I'm scared, or whatever the thing is. And then I have them write down, okay, how do you want to feel? I want to feel confident. I want to feel empowered. I want to feel wise. And then the last thing I do is, okay, so what thoughts do you need to think in order to feel how you want to feel? All right. The thoughts could be, I have everything I need to be confident, or, God is with me, so I don't have to worry. So it's really thinking about taking that same strategy and figuring out, okay, the person that you want to be, how do you want that person to feel? And what do you need to think about yourself in order to be that person that you are on your way to becoming? It's a little bit of woo woo, but sometimes that's what we need to do in order to help us to, I call it, counteracting the self sabotaging, this trauma informed response that we naturally have. It's creating new tools in order to reframe some of those natural responses that we tend to have. And so again, not you're not asking yourself, who, what should I do? You're not asking yourself, what should I fix? You're asking yourself, who am I becoming in this next season? All right. And you're being very intentional about that, really thinking about the moments this year that made you feel most like yourself. All right. What was happening during those times? Think about those nudges that you felt. Think about the habits and beliefs that you've outgrown. Then I want you to ask yourself, who is this woman that I'm becoming? And what does she need from me in this upcoming year that I need to make sure that I have in order to fulfill this woman that I'm becoming? All right. So this question alone can shift your entire next season. All right. So write that down. Who am I becoming? All right. So the next question I want you to ask yourself is, who do I need to release so I can move forward? Or maybe is, what do I need to release in order to move forward? Because it can't all come. Okay. It's kind of like in my mind, I want to be a minimalist. I want to be one in my mind. But I feel like I live with anti minimalist people. So it's really hard for me to even try to be a minimalist. And recently my husband bought something and I was like, "But what you gonna get rid of before you bring something else in here? Because this is already packed. We already maxed out. You know, we got this closet is already maxed out." And so it's that same thought process. As I'm moving forward in this next season, what do I need to be able to release so that I can have room for what's next in this next season? All right. And maybe you need to release a commitment, you know, that you said yes to. Maybe it's a title, maybe it's a routine, maybe it's an expectation that you never even agreed to. And you need to be like, hey, I didn't agree to that. Let me go ahead and let you know that I'm not going to be able to fulfill that. Maybe you need to release an old expectation of yourself. Okay. Again, we talked about in maybe episode 2 of this series how perfection tends to add this additional pressure on us that we it's not even humanly possible. So maybe you need to let go of some old expectations of yourself that no longer support the person who you are becoming today. Or maybe you need to release a old mindset that has kept you safe, but it is keeping you small. And now, as you move into this new season of reinvention and no longer playing small, and no longer making decisions out of fear, you may need to release some of your old mindset beliefs that have kept you safe mentally, but that have held you back to being able to do some of the things that you want to do. So this question really does help you to on growth and creating space for the growth that will come in this next season for you. Okay. So let's talk about the last question. The last question is, what is one move that I am committed to making within these next 30 days? Yes, it is not January, but that doesn't mean that you cannot start today. I love starting the gym in December. Like, I love starting something new before the traditional time to start because you're giving yourself a leg up with going ahead and getting started. You know, I try to stay away from like the cold turkey type of mindset where you just kind of like jump all in or you just jump all out. Like one of the ways like for me, I am a very goal oriented person. I have been writing down my goals for about 10 years. I keep it in a note in my phone and I actually go back and review them and see how I've like things I've accomplished over the years. And one of the things a few years ago that I consistently had a hard time accomplishing year after year, even though I continue to have that on my goal list, which is not normal for me, was working out, consistently going to the gym and working out. That was very, very difficult for me. And I think it was very difficult because I would just try to, again, I had these unrealistic expectations. I would just go to the gym and expect myself from not going at all to now I'm able to go 5 days a week, work for an hour, work out for an hour, do all the things, and that's just really not realistic. And it wasn't until I began just slowly starting, just building up consistency, just working on creating a habit versus, you know, just trying to go all in. And so I started by just going 1 day a week. And then I added that to 2 days a week. And then I increased that to 3 days a week. And next thing you know, I was being consistent and have been working out for now consistently for 2 years. And it took me just starting. So what is something that you can just start, okay, in the next 30 days? Maybe it's something that you do once a week. Maybe it's something that you do once a month. But what can you do to just start? Because this is again a reflection of who you're becoming and you're not going to ever arrive. You're not going to just wake up one day and be like, I'm her. Her, remember, her, who you're trying to be, is a process. It is stretching, it's being uncomfortable, it's taking steps, it's making that commitment to yourself and just showing up and doing the work. Okay. So I want you to figure out what that looks like for you. Okay. Maybe it is a new habit. Maybe it's actually having a conversation that you've been putting off for a while and you need to have that within the next 30 days. Maybe it's cleaning out some space so that you can welcome some other things in there or whatever. whatever it is, it doesn't happen all at once. It's just gonna require you to start little by little. So that's just figure out what is that thing that you want to commit to start within the next 30 days, okay? And make it happen. Share it with someone else, allow them to hold you accountable, to encourage you, and to also celebrate with you when you actually do it. That's so much fun. Okay. So, as we close out this series, here's something that I want you to know. You don't have to enter the next year guessing. You don't have to drag this old version of you into this new season that just wasn't meant for the old version of you. You are allowed to become someone new. You have permission to become someone new. You are allowed to walk into this next chapter with intention and with confidence. Okay. And I want you to take the time, even if you're in survival mode, whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's 15 minutes, and I want you to take the time to ask yourself these questions, to download that prompt guide, to have some time to be intentional, whether it's you have to wake up early before everyone else or do this once everybody goes to sleep. I want you to commit to going through this process and being intentional about next year. It's all about being proactive versus reactive. Okay. That's one of the biggest things I love about waking up earlier than everybody else is that it gives me an opportunity to be proactive about my day, to set my intentions, to decide how I want to feel, to, spend time getting in my word and praising the Lord and to just be able to move with intention versus just being reactive and just waiting and just allowing things to be dumped on me versus moving with intention. Okay. So thank you so much for walking with me through this series. This has been so healing for me. I hope that it's been healing for you. Please, please share in the comments. Let me know, what takeaways you've had from this series, how it has helped you in any way possible. Please share this with some friends if you feel like it will help them in this next season. And yeah, your next season is calling you, is just waiting on you. All right. So, what you can expect from our next episodes, you can expect an episode every Sunday. And we're going to get all back into the real estate conversation. We're going to get all into the strategies, helping you prepare for 2026. I'm going to be giving you my real estate market predictions, all the things. So if you have not subscribed, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. See you soon.